Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to show you how to disassemble your JG-M4. Now before I get into it, I want to tell you a couple things. First of all, I got a comment, a couple comments on my last video with my gun and its accessories on. And I got a comment asking about a mock suppressor. And it is counterclockwise threading. And this is not a mock suppressor. It's actually a barrel extension, but I think it looks well as a mock suppressor. As you can see, it looks pretty well as it. I mean, you know, it still works. I didn't want to buy a giant mock suppressor, so I got this for like $20. It was at Black Tiger Airsoft in Florida. It wasn't actually online. So, yeah. Alright, let's get into it. The tools you will need for this disassembly are Allen keys. I got a lot of them just to make sure that they fit every Allen key possible. Mini screwdriver, very tiny. I got this for a crappy sniper rifle I purchased a while ago, and I still have it, and I'm glad I did. Medium screwdriver. These are all Phillips heads, just letting you know you don't need any flat heads. And a large screwdriver. You'll need needle nose pliers for just one thing. It's getting the motor plate, the little tiny silver motor plate out of here in case it goes in the edge right here, which it mostly does for me. And tape, you don't really need it, but you know, who knows when you might mess up and need to fix something. Okay, now let's get straight into it. First thing you would want to do is you would want to take the stock off here, so just do that. Alright, now you have the stock. One thing I forgot to mention though is I would recommend having another place set up. Here's my gun bag on my bed where you can lay out all the items so that you know where everything goes. Now for time purposes, I already took out the little washer and screw, but once you do this will not come with your gun. This washer and screw will be inside this buffer tube. Like I can pick up the gun. It will be inside there. You need to pull the wire so you can make sure the buffer tube, you can actually see it. And what this is if your gun is backwired like mine is, that little indent is where the wires can actually go under, so it sits looking at, if you're looking straight down, that's what it's like. You might need a light to see it because it's dark. But what it does is it sits there on the gearbox and it makes sure this stock is held in tight. As you can see, it's out, it's not held in. So you just need to unscrew that with it needs a large Phillips head, and you'll get that out. And once you get that out, all you need to do is take this off. Sometimes the battery takes a little bit of working to get out. Boom. Alright, now I'm going to set this aside. Okay, now once you have this done, you could take this washer part off here. I'm going to do that. You don't need to, but you know what? You can do it. Why not? Now, I forgot to mention in the beginning of the video, hold on, that this disassembly can work for most of the JG guns. Like the JG-M4S system, the rail's different, but all you have to do is detach the rail. I mean, it's not that hard. It's the same thing, same build, because it's a plastic body. It's the same disassembly for most plastic bodies. Now, check to see if your body looks something like this before you do this assembly. Because if it does not look like that, this disassembly is going to screw you up. And what I forgot to mention at the beginning of the video is you don't really need to do it for this, but I would suggest taking off your accessories, like suppressor or vertical grip. I wouldn't take the holographic set off because it's not a big deal, but I would take off the rails. But you know what, I'm not going to do it because I don't really need to. Ooh, almost dropped that. Alright, now what you need at this point is you're going to have to punch out these two pins here, this one and this one. Now, what I would get, small screwdriver, big screwdriver, and I would just use it as pretty much a hammer and a nail. Alright, now mine are coming out, especially this rear one, comes out usually with like, ooh, that sounded like it hurt my desk. But it usually comes out with one tap because I have done this so many times. But here's one screw, and here's second screw. Alright, now what you will get, this one that is circular on the top goes right here, but it's reverse obviously because that's the way it was actually. But the reason why it's circular is there's nothing blocking it on the other side, so it can just be circular. It wants to be circular. This though, the one with the flat end, the receiver is actually like blocking it, so you need to face it the right way before you hammer it back in. And on my next video, which will be a assembly, I'll show you how to do that. I'm going to disassemble it all the way to the gearbox, so just letting you guys know that. Now at this point, this is the point where you pretty much use your muscle you've been working at the gym all summer for. Pretty much use your muscle, and you just try and take them apart. And this one is coming off easily because, like I said before, I've done it so many times. It's actually not coming out as easily as I thought. Out, come on. It's almost, you see, it's caught on there. There we go. Don't worry about that snap if you hear that too. It's just these things, they're usually stretched out to get on the gearbox. That's just them snapping together. It's alright. Now, from here you have your upper receiver. Now, if you ever want to just stop here and make barrel changes. Also, something I forgot to mention, if you want to have it, you can have a little light, like your laser pointer. You can look in there, but if you do want to make any barrel changes, oh, that light is weak. There it is. See that thing right there? Maybe if I bring it up close. Yeah, well, that thing, right? Oh, that's better. Screw that. Alright, well, that thing, you just easily pull it out, and there's your inner barrel. You can just pull it out all the way, and it'll just come out the outside, and you can change your inner barrel. But we're not going to be doing that today, so let's set this upper receiver over here. Now, once you get here, I forgot to say you might want to take the mag out. It's kind of standard. Okay, once you get here, the rest of it is pretty easy. What you would need now is, I believe, a small one. I want to see for size. Yeah, a small one. Now you want to take the motor plate out. Some people find this very confusing, but I'm going to show you how it's not confusing. I'm just going to drill these. I want to see if I can use a big one for this because that would make life much easier. I mean a medium. Yeah, you can. Okay, you can use a medium one. Whichever screwdriver works for you, and whichever screwdriver will actually take it off. Okay, now here's the important part. Press your finger right there, because there is a motor plate there, and you do not want that to fall off to the side. If it does, lean the gun quickly forward so it does not fall deep in the gun, because that would not be bueno. Don't worry, I didn't take Spanish, so I don't know if I used that correctly. There's your screw. Magnetic screwdriver. It's always good to have. And here comes the other one. Alright. It should come out soon. Still needs some work. Second one. Alright, well, as you can see, I don't know if you saw, but one, let's put them on the screwdriver. One of them is very small. That is the one that goes right here. The smallest one goes right there, and the largest one goes in the back. So, from here, be very careful taking this off. No hasty moves. And there goes the motor plate again. Alright, well, once you get this, I would suggest putting your screws back in where they were, just for safekeeping, and you don't want to lose any screws now, do you? Come on, you stupid gun. Yeah, and the fact is, this is my only gun, and I'm being pretty abusive, but you know what, I'm getting a metal body for it, so I don't care. Okay, now this is where you need needle nose pliers. Okay, I'm gonna bring in the camera here so I can show you what I'm talking about. That fell down right there, that little silver piece right there. That is the motor plate that goes right on top of that I'm zooming in. That's the motor plate. You want to get that out. Alright, let me bring this light over here. Nah, we're good. Alright, let me see if it just fall out. Sometimes you'll get lucky, but sometimes you won't. Make sure you don't lose it. That's what I'm talking about, needle no skills. This little tiny, look how slim that is compared to my finger. If you lose this, your gun will not work at all. I think. But, you know, you never know. Okay, now, this is where people get confused right here. Alright, well, I think I can zoom in on video. No? I always thought I was able to zoom in. Alright, never mind. Well, this is where people get confused. Is the black and the red wire. The red wire, as you can see, is actually in, but the black wire came out. I don't know why. But anyway, it goes right on that. See that flat piece right there? That flat part. The end of these, you just stick them on there. Pretty much it's, but in this case we want to take them out. The black one, as you can see, is already out. You just want to pull it lightly. Now make sure, before you pull this out, that this thing right here is actually moving. Like it has spring tension, you can feel it. If it has spring tension, you're good. Now slowly take it out. You don't want to bend any wires. Alright, now you have your super high power motor. Now, since this motor is a motor, it's magnetized, so I would put the motor plate straight on there. It's magnetized. So leave it there. Alright, now next step.